Hey guys, Brock Shinen here. I've been asked a lot recently about what should go in a business plan, whether you should go all out and do like the 20, 30 page business plan with all of the traditional components. And my answer is, for the most part, no. I think what happens is most entrepreneurs, they end up getting this complex document. They usually outsource it, have a quote expert write it up for them. And it's something that even if they look at it a couple of times, they don't truly understand it. They're never going to use it as a playbook for their business. And it's too complicated and too many moving parts for them to really effectively use it as a business plan. So here's what I recommend, and I actually talk about this in my book. But what I recommend is, first and foremost, if you as the business owner, you as an entrepreneur, you are the one that writes this business plan. I think if you don't have your fingerprints on it, if you're not the one that's actually putting pen to paper or fingers to keys, that you're not going to really own that business plan. So the starting point is you should write it. And what should that include? At the very least, this should include what the business will do. That can't be this amorphous, generic, general, we're going to sell, blank, or we're going to offer this service. It has to be very specific and very articulated down to the nuanced detail. If it's a product business, we're going to manufacture iPhone cases is not enough. We're going to create plastic iPhone cases or metal iPhone cases that withstand, dropping. Kind of as you talk about what you're going to do as a business, you want to get into the details of what you're going to do, because that's going to give you a roadmap for making sure, first and foremost, that you have a vision that everybody can execute on, but secondly, that you'll make sure that the business stays on target. So I want you to write what the business will do as articulated as you can, and that could be a narrative. It could be a couple of sentences, it could be a whole page, but whatever makes sense to you in terms of what will this business do, I want you to start with that. I also want you to at least ask the question and answer the question, what will the business not do? That's kind of on point. So let me give you an example. In my law practice, I'm a lawyer. The assumption is, what is the assumption? Maybe I go to court, maybe I negotiate, maybe I draft contracts. So if I'm a lawyer and I'm starting a law practice, what will I do? I want to actually detail the activities as a lawyer that I'll be doing, the services I'll be rendering. So any service business, that's a real easy piece. What services are you offering? And the second piece, what are you not offering? Like I don't litigate anymore. I used to, but I don't do that anymore. So I would say I will not litigate. I will not go to court for, to represent clients in issues. I will refer that out. So that will help me also stay on track for what I'm supposed to do and when I'm on point for that, what I'm not supposed to do and when I'm on point for that. The second thing is, I want to talk about money in my business plan. So category one is, what does the business do, which encapsulates what it does not do. Second component of the business plan is money. How are we making money or bringing money in? How is money going out? Income and expenses is kind of what we're talking about. And you'll notice some of what we're talking about is actually, this is pieces of what we see in a traditional business plan, but this is much more operational ready. It's much more like boots on the ground ready. So talk about, how are we going to make money? Where's it coming from? Investors, sales, donations, fundraising, Kickstarter campaigns, whatever it is. We want to identify all the different areas. And sometimes this may actually relate to certain income areas, relate to certain products or services. So you want to kind of draw lines, literally or figuratively. You want to draw lines between the money coming in to the product or service. If you're, for instance, doing a fundraise for a new product, you want to write the line between that income and that output. But otherwise, if it's just generically for the business, you want to talk about all the ways money's coming in and how it's going to be spent. Your expenses, office space, staff, computer equipment, manufacturing, stationery, licenses, taxes, all the, payroll, all that sort of thing. You want to have a very, very good, detailed, articulated explanation of where money's coming in and how it's going out. And you'll notice that many times it seems like more is going out than it's coming in. You need to have a plan for that. And this is part of what, it's going to put that issue right in front of you of like, well, on paper, this doesn't work. You have to make it work on paper. And what most people do in this situation is they just mess with the numbers. I don't want you to mess with the numbers. I want you to go into the assumptions and the decisions that surround the numbers and mess with those. Because when you mess with numbers, all you're doing is trying to zero out basically or create a profit on paper. That's never what happens in actual business. So I want you to go into, if you're going to make this much money and spend this much money, I want you to go in there and say, how can we make more? Or what if we don't make even this? I want you to go in your expenses and where can we cut? Where does it make sense to? Can we reduce this? Is there a way? The next piece is, who's going to do what? In every business, whether it's a one-person operation or it's got 1,000 workers all over the world, whatever it looks like, there are people doing things. Now, this is not taking into account AI or computer-based or technology-based responses and activities. This is talking about people at this point. Who is going to do what? So you, if you're the entrepreneur, you're the business owner, what exactly are you going to do? And when I ask that question, I want to know on a day-to-day basis, are you selling? Are you marketing? Are you manufacturing? Are you rendering services? I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm leading the company. Well, what does that mean? So by leading, do I have weekly meetings? Do I have daily meetings? I want to know exactly what you're going to do, and I want you to start with you. Then I want you to start looking at who else is going to be needed and what exactly are they going to do. So you're actually tackling two topics within this one subject area. Who do you need and what are they going to do? And I think what's going to happen as you start to write this out, you're going to say, maybe we don't need all these people, or maybe these, instead of 6 people, we can get these 3 and they could do it all. Sometimes that's a good decision, sometimes it's not. But here, let me do this just for the sake of brevity. If we can have a business plan that covers those 3 areas and nothing more, I can tell you that this will do wonders for your business. It will change everything, because what it's going to do, it's causing you to think about your needs, your business needs, but it's also putting the very real dynamics of business right in front of your face, so you're going to have to face those issues. So I want you to jump on this today. I don't care if you have a 30-page business plan that you paid $25,000 for outside consultants to prepare for you. I want you, the entrepreneur, the business owner, to sit down today, the first opportunity you get, and to do exactly what I just said in this short video. I'm going to put this plan together, and I want you to look at it for a week straight, every day, every morning. Before you start your day, I want to look at this business plan. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to shake the trees. It's going to shake you up and say, man, I think I'm doing some stuff wrong. I think I have too many people, or my expenses are too high, or maybe my mission is not clear. And I want you to rework this thing, rework this thing, rework this thing until you get to a plan that you feel is executable and it's consistent with what you want to actually do in business. So I'm going to leave you with that. Sorry to run through it quickly, but I just wanted to make a brief video on business plans. I hope this helps.